wow. Like, I legit just did a whole video on how I manifested the place that I'm at now, how I went from living in the ghetto to living in what's considered a luxury apartment building. And yeah, my camera's acting kind of foggy, so just excuse that. There's no lights on where I'm at. I have the lights off. It's still daytime, as you can tell. But yeah, let me give you a very quick view of the captain's quarters. I know last time I did, the lighting wasn't that great. So hopefully it's a lot better now. But yeah, what you see in the background is Lake Erie, and I don't know if you can see it, but that is the skyline. I'm here in Ohio. Okay. And it's nothing fancy, but you know what? It's a lot nicer than what I was used to. Let's just put it like that. Okay, back to me. Okay, so what I was going to say is um, my manifestation story. I think people get it kind of confused as to how you really do manifest. Yeah, manifestations can happen instantly, but what manifestation really is just you aligning with the things that you want in the universe. So it's basically just putting the proper pieces together to get you what you want. And that really starts with first, your energy, um, being either specific or going general with what you want. So, for instance, with me, I was in a situation where I was in a mixed neighborhood. It was a rough neighborhood, and it was cheap. So I was there for almost 20 years. And I decided to stay there that long because I wanted to raise my kids. I had been ready to leave, but I was waiting for my son to go off to college and things of that nature. Once that happened, my daughter came into some issues, so she had to move back home. Since she wasn't able to pay the rent, so forth and so on, I stayed there and it became a nightmare. So when I was there, that's one thing about helping friends and family. You really don't know people until you live with them. But even before then, you know how people are. So that's a whole nother subject. But it got so bad to the point that I knew that this wasn't going to work. And instead of putting them out or anything, I came to the point where I was just like, you know what, I'm going to leave. It got that bad. It had to be bad for me to just be feeling like I was forced to move out of my own home. But I knew that I wanted better for myself and that it was a place that she could afford. So, that's basically the bottom line. But the way that I began to manifest the place that I'm at now is really because I was taking so much time not being there, like leaving work extra late hours later so I wouldn't have to deal with what was going on in the household. I would take weekends, and get hotel rooms in different places, and they were nice places, just so I can get that feeling of peace, a nice environment, peaceful. That's really what I was looking for. And then, it had got so bad. I remember one day, I hope I'm looking in the camera, but I remember one day it had just got so bad. I was like, you know what, forget this. I had grabbed like a suitcase and I left for a whole week. During that week, I was writing down what I wanted, enjoying myself, how I want to feel. And I spent so much money on that one week in this hotel that I said I could probably get something, an apartment and pay less than this, which I did. So that's what it was. I really wrote down what I wanted and I had this feeling of what it would feel like already. So I embodied the feeling of being peaceful. I walked around, I really touched the furniture. I thought about in my mind, wiping off my counter, going to the refrigerator. I really used my imagination. So you write down what you want. I have deeper manifestation tips, but it's kind of like you know what you want or a general idea. You write it down and you feel like you have it already. So you feel the feeling of, what it would be like, for instance, to walk into a place and here's a table, you know, feel yourself touching it, sitting down at the table and things like that. You really have to use your creativity, kind of like see it, feel it, smell it, taste it, touch it before it's real. And then with you doing that, your mind will make it feel like it's real. Your mind doesn't know the difference between something being real or fake, So it takes on a persona as this is really happening. So once I started doing that, you know, I knew from there things continued to get worse. And, I fixed up my bedroom real nice and everything, thinking it would be my little escape haven. And it just came to a point of just nothing I did was going to work. I had to leave. So for 3 Saturdays, me and my sister, we went looking in this area. I used to come out all the time in this area to eat. And the funny thing is, the restaurant that I used to go to, I've been here for what, going on 2 years, and I can count like maybe 2 or 3 times since I've been in that restaurant. I mean, I'm literally within walking distance, but I don't even go in there hardly. But yeah, so basically, we looked at about 5 or 6 different places, and these places for what they wanted, they didn't look like anything. And I'm like, are they kidding? Even my sister was like, oh no. I remember this one place we went to, and it was like a sweat box. I mean, they wanted like close to what, over $1,000 or close to it, and it didn't have any ventilation. It was 3 flights of stairs. Everything was hot. I mean, the person that was showing us, they were sweating, we were sweating. We were like, there's no elevator, there's no way, and you know what, I'm gonna be here. So anyway, this was like the last stop of the day, that 3rd Saturday. So, we're sitting here, and when we pull up, I'm like, wow, this is really nice. And so I'm like, you know what? I might as well go try. I was like, I doubt it. This is like, I'm thinking it's way over my budget. It's way nicer than anywhere I've lived at before. And I'm like, there's part of me is like, there's no way, but another part of me was like, try it. So my sister's like, yeah, try it. I'm like, yeah, the worst they could say is no. So I called up. Now mine just about 4:30. So it's about 4:30 p.m. I call, and the lady, answers at the office, and I'm like, "Yeah, are you guys still showing for today?" She's like, "Well, we're, about to close at 5." And so she was like, "I really don't have time to show you or whatever." I said, "Well, I'm already in the parking lot, so you might as well let me in." So she was a bit hesitant, but she said, "Okay, just come on." So it's an African American lady. I mean, not that that matters, but So anyway, she brings me up to the observation deck, and I'm like, wow. Like, I couldn't believe it. I'm looking around. I'm like, I have never seen, like, this is amazing. Like, wow, it's so possible. So I'm like, wow. So I'm like, you know what? At this point, I don't even care what the apartment looks like. I'm sold. Like, I'm sold. So yeah, so she shows me the apartment. It's a little, what kind of thing? Studio apartment and everything. And even though it was small, the way it was made was nice. The apartment she showed me was already, taken. They were fixing it up for a tenant. But yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to be here. So make a long story short, for one moment, I was like, well, maybe there's something better or something that costs less. And for a brief second, I kind of like, well, I was hoping to have more room, things like that. So then when I seen that somebody else, she said, well, there's a lot of people that are interested. I seen somebody else, a couple, come in, and she was going to show them the same thing or something close to it. I said, you know what? I want this. I made up my mind right then and there, like, no, we got to do this. So I'm thinking, dang, I don't have credit. How am I going to pay this every month? So forth and so on. But luckily, I put in an application, and then a week later, they gave me the congratulations. I'm like, what? It was like, you got the place. So I'm like, we celebrating and everything. And so, yeah, so that's how I ended up with the place. But yeah, let me do this. So really what it is just preparation plus opportunity equals success. I had a manager say that. And it's preparation is really just preparing your mind, and it's aligning everything on your behalf because your words have power, your thoughts have power, and your energy. You have to embody it like you already have it. That's really the key to manifestation. If you know exactly what you want, be specific. But if you have a general or you're not specific with what you want, you can go general. But that's really the key. It's just living it like you already have it. Like acting like you have it. Like I was walking through that and I was imagining furniture there. I was fixing up in my mind. I was touching things. I was really feeling like it was mine and it became mine. So that's really what manifestation is about. If you want deeper techniques, I can definitely leave those. But before I go, I just want to show you the observation deck. This is my absolute favorite place to go. So yeah, excuse me if I keep on looking. I'm still kind of new to this. Excuse me if I keep looking down and I'm not looking in the camera. But you get the point. Just the main thing is to get what you need from these videos. So yeah, so from living in the hood to living in a nice neighborhood. Okay? So hold on, I'm gonna take you outside real quick. And it's like almost 90 degrees. So you know how hot it is out here with the lake. It's like super humid. But I wanted to show you guys what I see every day. Yeah. And they're still working on something. They've been working on this for a while, and they had the observation deck closed. But I just wanted you guys to see what I look at every time I come up here, what I see. That's why I said, anything is possible for those who believe. So yeah, let me try to get a good picture of this. Isn't this magnificent? So I'm in Ohio, so this is Lake Erie. It's the piece of it, Lake Erie. I really hope you guys are getting this. Oh, it's cooling off. It feels so good out here right now. Oh my goodness. And we can see the planes. There's an airport over there, the stadium, the Cleveland skyline, Key Tower, Terminal Tower. Yeah. So I really hope that this video is helpful to someone. And I hope I got good pictures on here. Well, good video. I really can't tell, but I hope I do. Because I wish I could just stand out here, and just feel what this feels like. It's so peaceful. All right, so hey, just imagine, living next door to a house, seeing the roof falling off in your driveway, to actually being able to move somewhere like this and see this instead. I can't tell you how much of a blessing this truly is. All right. See you. Be blessed.